The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are solely their own and do not represent the position of the host, this show, or any organization either party is affiliated with. All content is shared purely for educational and inspirational purposes. Nothing discussed here constitutes professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to independently verify any information before acting on it. The host is not responsible for any outcomes resulting from guest statements. By listening, you agree that you are solely responsible for how you use the information shared. Welcome to the Tech Sharmit podcast, where technology is not just news, but the roadmap to the future. This is a space where we explore the latest tech trends, AI, startups, gadgets, and the ideas that redefine the way we think. Leading this conversation is Amit Sharma, globally recognized as Tech Sharmit. A technologist from Bharat, Amit brings an Indian perspective to the global technology landscape. With deep technical expertise and strong industry insight, and for his contributions and impact within the global tech community, he has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including Google Developer Expert, Microsoft MVP, IBM Champion, and Planet Mainframe Influencer. Through this podcast, he shares practical knowledge, real-world perspectives, and globally relevant thinking designed to help you stay ahead in an ever-evolving technology landscape. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Tech Sharmit channel to stay updated with future episodes. And if you're looking to level up your skills, don't forget to explore the Tech Sharmit digital course book in the description box, where you'll find thousands of free programming courses curated to help you grow as a developer. So plug in your headphones and join us as we begin today's episode of the Tech Sharmit podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today I'm joined by another very special guest, Aman Tiwari, who is joining us from Bharat itself. If I talk about Aman, he is a Salesforce Marketing Champion, SFDC expert, instructor, speaker, and community leader with deep expertise across Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Experience Cloud, and Agentforce. He is also a passionate educator and a community builder who actively contributes through Bharat Dreamin and such more initiatives. So in today's episode, we will talk about Salesforce AI, automation, Agentforce, modern architecture, and many more things. But before we get started with these all things, I would like to thank Aman for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us a bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you so much, Tech Summit, for this warm introduction. And you have covered everything about me. You have mentioned a lot about me. And one thing that I think that I would like to tell is like I'm also a nomadic trailblazer. I have covered almost 22 states and I've started doing this, taking this journey across the globe. I have started visiting few countries because I like to share knowledge with respect to Salesforce and other things that I know. And as we proceed ahead, our audience will come to know more about me.
Yeah. Okay. So, although like there are plenty of things that we can start with here, you have achieved so many things. There are so many accolades with your name. But one interesting thing I found through your LinkedIn is your caption or your quote, because your LinkedIn bio starts with a powerful Bhagavad Gita quote that. So, can you share a moment in your journey, like when you realize that yes, focusing on the work, not on the result, completely change your perspective? So, how it came into your life, how you start believing on this quote?
Sure, I'll share a small story and from where I got into this Krishna consciousness and how I understood life's true meaning through Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm.
So few years back, there was a very long distance friend of mine. His relatives, there was a guy who was suffering from. Suddenly, they came to know that he's suffering from blood cancer, which is acute leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was he just called me and he was like, hey, Aman, you know what? They are very poor and they need help. And I said, okay, fine, get them to Mumbai and I'll try to help them as much as I can. So I tried to help and he was recovering very well. I had, I tried my best to reach out to Ministry of Health for Maharashtra and they also helped him. So his entire medical, whatever cost was there was done free of cost by
Mm-hmm.
government and he was doing very well. He was admitted to Tata Hospital and he was doing very well for 4.5 years. He was upon his toes. One thing that I told him, his name was Neelu. I told him like, no matter what, I'll make you stand on your toes again. And he was doing really well. But after COVID hit, he went to his hometown, and suddenly the cancer spread, and we lost him.
Yeah.
So I was very down because that was the biggest, fallback in my life, and I was literally devastated. And one day I was going through the street, and then uh, a guy came, and he was just showing this Bhagavad Gita, and he said, "You know what? You can just take this 120 rupees Bhagavad Gita, and you will get the true meaning of life." And I was like, uh, "Whatever I had in my life, God has taken from me." He was like, "Maybe you're not seeing the things which is beyond that."
Yeah.
And he gave me, I took it, and he told me that, "Okay, you don't pay me anything, you just take this book." I took the book and I just opened, I randomly opened a page, and there was a quote which says, "Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan."
Yeah.
That means you are bound to your, karma, like you are bound to your activities, action, but you're not bound to the results. And that perspective changed my life. That perspective changed my way. And from that day till today, whatever I do, I don't focus more on the result, rather I focus on the process. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah, I think this incident will also inspire others to focus on their work, because you put all your efforts. Even in fact, those who were around him, like they put their efforts, but still, like disease can't be controlled, right? So whatever happened, like it had actually happened. But one thing, as you mentioned through the book, that once you read that book, you got to know about the real aspect of it. Like we should focus on the work, not on the other results, because results are not in our hand. So I think especially in this corporate era, like when everyone is suffering from overthinking and these kind of in fact depression is also spreading. So in such environment, like if someone go through such kind of books, they will easily relate their small challenges, I would say, with the real things that are shared in that book. So I think those, when if someone is watching from out of India, maybe from global audience, like they can also try to read it once and just try to see like what all things has been shared in this book. It might help you as well. So it's not particularly for the religion or for the community. It is something that is written for the well-being of the human being. So we both,
Yeah.
I think, recommend that to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so now Aman will talk bit about the your journey, your initial days, like before becoming a Salesforce Marketing Champion. Who was Aman Tiwari? Like what challenge? Firstly, we will talk about who was Aman before those accolades, before those titles, and how your journey got started.
Yeah, sure. So I started my career as a salesperson. I did engineering, but I got into a salesman job. 3 months down the line, I realized this is not my cup of tea. And suddenly, with my good communication skills, I landed into MNC, and I got into Salesforce. When I started doing this, learning the Salesforce, everything was doing good. But one day, suddenly, I opened this LinkedIn. Someone recommended me to open LinkedIn, and then I saw there is something called Trailblazer community. And it was a
Mhm.
COVID time, so many people were on this on this online. You don't have friends, you don't have you just have your family and this online.
Right.
So once this COVID ended, I felt like Salesforce is something not everyone knows about it, and whatever knowledge I have, I should go and tell people. I come from a tier three city. I come from Varanasi, very small town in Jaunpur.
Yeah.
Many people they don't know about Salesforce because UP Bihar they are not very much people are not very much towards IT or tech world. They are more towards the government jobs because XYZ reasons.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not start with it? So my journey started with Bihar. Bihar is a place, it's the place where it gave knowledge to the entire world. If you
Correct.
see Nalanda University, right?
Yes.
So I thought I will start from there. I started visiting Bihar, then to UP, then Hyderabad, Bangalore, and all these states I started covering. And then I realized, you know what? I'm doing so much, but people don't know me. They know Aman Tiwari, but they don't know what he is doing. So I gave myself, like self-proclaimed, I gave myself this term called nomadic trailblazer. Nomadic
Hmm.
means a person who doesn't stop at one place, and trailblazer means someone who is paving the path for others.
Others, yeah.
So that's where I started doing it. And throughout this, I had so many challenges. To be honest, it's not easy to travel to multiple places and tell people, I'm doing it for free, because no one does it for free in this world. I'm doing it for free. I want to help people, and it really worked out. So I started with 7 people, and they were having career break. They all got job. Then I started Mission Vidyalankar, where I went to Punjab. There were 10 students who were very bad with their education,
Mm-hmm.
but I stayed with them for 9 months. I trained them. I mentored them, and you know what? They all are into a very good job today.
Okay,
So
that's great.
yeah, I did have challenge, but Lord help me. I mean, I don't know how I did it. I say that He is doing it, and I'm just a
Yeah,
mediator who's completing it.
right. And you just mentioned about your sales experience also, because after doing engineering, I think you did some for some time, like you started a sales job. So what was that moment like? Why you decided that yes, you want to explore that area too as well?
Okay, so I was doing sales for a educational company. I would recommend any because that company doesn't exist now.
Okay.
So in that company, I was selling out this, JE and NEET courses. One
Mm-hmm.
day, a student comes and asks, "Sir, what are the benefits of this course?" And I explained him everything. And that student was like, "Sir, he was very poor." And I was very like, once you sell, how to sell the courses, like you have to schedule a call, you have to go to that particular person's house, and then you
Yeah.
have to sell it. They don't have money to even teach their kid, but they wanted a better future for their children, the parents. And then the kid, his mother came and told me like, "Mira, my kid will um, bring us from this bad situation, right? If we
Mm-hmm.
take this course." To be honest, genuinely, I felt like, no, I'm not doing it right. I know sales is very important part of any business, but that was something I felt like this is not a justice that I'm doing for this
Correct.
particular role. And that's where I felt, no, I'm not going to do this. I'll try something else.
Okay, so I think again this is something that is operated from the behind the scene, because you are not the right person for
Yeah.
that job, and because of your honesty, and you feel that guilt, right, when dealing with the
Yeah.
clients. So I think God is there, so He put you into the right place, and I think now those who are from the Salesforce community, they already know like why it is so important, that switch, why that switch was so important for you. So I think that's a great transition for your journey. Okay, so now Aman will talk a bit about your work across sales, because you have worked across sales clouds, service cloud, experience cloud, data cloud, and agent force also. So what do you think, like which Salesforce innovation excites you most right now, especially in the era of AI? If someone has to pick you one thing, one service of Salesforce that really excites you nowadays, so which one is that?
Yeah, sure. So if you have asked me this question a few years back, I would have said flow,
Yeah.
because I'm a Flownatic and I like doing the things without writing code.
Mm-hmm.
But down the line, because at that time people used to ask like, "Hey, how can I automate this process?" Okay. Now people don't ask this. People are like, "Hey, how can I build an agent who can complete this entire process?" So
Yeah.
I would say that one innovation that Salesforce and the entire world is seeing is AI, and in Salesforce it is Agentforce and Headless 360.
Mm-hmm.
So why Agentforce is because it helps you to complete the entire process with very less human intervention. I mean, people are more like, I want everything at a single click, you know, and
Right.
that's what Agentforce is doing. It is going to help you to complete the entire business process. Second thing is Headless 360. Why Headless 360 is because Salesforce says we know that you don't want multiple screens, you don't want to log in, and you want to do this complete the entire CRM process that you have. Instead of that, we are going to expose everything through our APIs and MCPs,
Yeah.
and you can explore the entire Salesforce platform through this Headless 360. So these are the two things which excites me the most when it comes to innovation from Salesforce.
Okay. And if we particularly talk about the skill set, especially in the era of agent force era, so what do you think? Like, what skills should a Salesforce admin as well as developer as well as consultant and marketer focus on to remain the relevant in this agent force area era? So what do you think, like according to their profile, what skill set they need, maybe any common skill that is needed for all of them?
Yeah. See, to be honest, from the time this AI has come into picture, this
Mm-hmm.
roles which we are talking about, let it be admin, developer, marketer, consultant, or anyone, these roles are no longer entitled to certain group of people or an individual.
Correct.
Now there is a new. I'm telling you, like what I feel and what I'm seeing in the market is there will be a new role that will come up
Mm-hmm.
in respect to Salesforce. It is already there in other companies like Google or Amazon. But with respect to Salesforce, the new role that I'm seeing is forward deployment engineer or forward deployed engineer. Okay. This role will take a few things from each of them. What admin
Okay.
is doing, what consultant is doing, what developers are doing. So this will be the role that what I feel will be there in future. Okay. And if you talk about skill set, I would say the fundamentals are still important
Correct.
because AI will not give you 100% accurate result. So you have to be
Right.
very good with your fundamentals. And on top of that, you need to be good with understanding how you can harness the power of AI. I won't
Correct.
say you totally be dependent on AI. You know what I see people is like if I give them a problem statement, copy, paste on the chat GPT or Claude, get it
They're
done.
just getting the
That's the
solution.
most wrong thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
They need
Agree.
to do what? They need to understand what I should tell to the Claude or ChatGPT, which I say the art of prompt engineering.
Correct.
Okay. You think wisely what you want, you say or you give the prompt correctly, give the pseudo code or any thought process that is coming to your mind or architecture, and then you see what result will come.
Correct.
Instead of directly going blindly copying pasting it. So I would say the way you use AI costing, be very clear with your fundamentals. And the third is the art of prompt engineering. These three
Right.
things is very important.
Yeah, same thing I also witnessed because I'm also too much into this training of the folks, especially the IT folks. And I also noticed the same thing, like they were just using the prompt in a one-liner prompt, like they are used to it, like they just simply put the prompt in one line to get the result and just copy paste it. In fact, they are not even checking the output, like whether it is correct or not. And
Yeah,
that was the reason, like I started one course related to Claude where I explained like what is the right procedure to write the complete detailed prompt to get the output. And once they compare it with that master prompt, they understand that yes, this is how we can write the prompt and get the result, because we are maximizing the output and like overall output quality is also improved if we are providing the detailed prompt. And if we are just providing one or two word, it can provide you the output, but it is not 100% correct. So that is one thing that I think very important you just shared. And another thing, I also feel that especially after AI, like earlier, like we were considering a developer has a skill set of writing code in Python, in Java, but nowadays
mhm,
it is like it's a assumption that everyone should know about all languages because they have tools. They can write code in Python, Java, right? So these are not skills anymore. These are some of the technology that you can work with. Like if you know about OpenAI, if you know about Claude, you can directly work and create a code in any language, right? What really sets
correct.
you apart from other is the business logic, how you approach the business logic, how you write the logic. So I think that is the same case here in Salesforce also, because these all profiles somewhere are combined, as you mentioned that one new profile is also coming in the coming way. So that is also a kind of combination of all. So that are the thing I think, especially nowadays, like everyone should focus more upon the business logic, communication skills, and overall basic fundamental of the technology for which you are working.
Correct. Yeah, that's needed. And I have seen your courses. I mean, the great thing that I liked about your courses are like those are free and they are very much structured way. And I was just
Mhm.
going through the Claude courses that you have mentioned, so it was really well structured. And I would really recommend if someone is trying to understand like how this Claude work, how can I use the prompt
Yeah.
engineering. So yeah, personally I felt good.
Okay. All right. So we talked about AI, we talked about how things are going to change. But my one question is regarding the actual scenario, because you are working with the especially in the field of Salesforce, if someone asks you like how it is actually impacting the projects nowadays, because you are interacting with different client in the real project world scenarios, right? So do you think like AI is actually living up to the hype, or it is or there is a gap between the stage demo and the production reality? So from your overall experience, what all things have been changed so far?
See, when it comes to Salesforce, what I have felt is it is the part what I feel what Salesforce does is it believes in CI/CD, that is continuous
Mhm.
improvement and continuous development.
Right.
So, if you see why Salesforce is world's number one CRM, or why they call that, why they are holding that from such a long time, is because they believe in innovation and they heavily invest on two things. One, getting the right thing, and even if they're making mistake, they are ready to improve from what they're getting the feedback from the client. So, if you ask me whether it's a hype or whether they're really living up to the expectation, see, none of the products which has been built by any company, maybe it Cloud or ChatGPT or
Yeah.
OpenAI or Gemini, is living up to what really, but they're continuously improving. Like
Correct.
Bought their own product called Opus, then they bought Sonnet, then they are building up one more product on top of that, right? So
Right.
Salesforce bought Data Cloud, then they renamed into Data 360, then Agentforce, now Headless 360. So they are improving. You cannot say that they are. It's a hype. I can say that they are improving. They are
Nice.
continuously making big development to the product, and that's how you survive in the market. If it was a hype, then now someone else might have already taken away Salesforce, right? So
Right.
yeah,
So we can say that as a machine, if they are improving day by day, so as a human being, we should also improve and learn and adopt the things, because we can see every AI version is improving
correct.
monthly basis, right? Earlier we were just saw a simple chat GPT. In fact, if only we talk about chat GPT, it has improved a lot. The quality of images that it was creating earlier was completely different from which it is generating nowadays, right? So as a human being, I think we should learn from that machine itself, that how to learn and how to adopt the things faster. Okay, so now Aman will talk bit
Yeah,
about the data cloud. So we all know that data cloud was renamed to Data
hmm
360 as a part of Agentforce rebranding. So in a very simple plain terms, what does it actually mean for a
yeah.
marketer or a admin who has been calling it data cloud for last 2 years? So what do you think, like what all things has been changed and what hasn't changed right now?
Okay, so if I tell you Data Cloud has been in the boom from last 2 or more years, actually Data Cloud
Mhm.
was already there. So earlier the name of this product was CDP, that is Customer Data Platform. Okay.
Okay.
Now it was more for the customer's data point of view. They renamed it Data Cloud because they wanted to have it a broader scope project where they can have a unified view of the customer. So harmonization, segmentation, unification, identity resolution, it's still the same. Nothing has changed. Now,
Mm-hmm.
why they have given from Data Cloud to Data 360 is, so now with AI or Agentforce in the picture, what is the main important thing? Just like in the world, oil is very important. So for AI, data is very important,
Yeah,
right? If you have garbage data, AI will hallucinate or Agentforce will hallucinate and it
definitely.
will give any random result.
Correct.
Okay, so you need to have a very clean data, right? So if you have a very clean data, Agent Force will give you possible result and it will execute the best possible action. So
Right.
that's how they have migrated with AI and Agent Force in the picture. Let's have a proper data, a clean data, and that's why they have given the name as Data 360. So
Right.
Data Cloud was 360 customer view, okay, 360 view of the customer. Now with this data 360, what they have given the name, it's more on the agent force and proper data with the
Okay.
developer.
Okay. I think now the thing is clear to everyone, especially those who are working with the speed. So now, Aman, moving ahead, we will be talking about one of the great initiative led by you and your team, that is Bharat Dream. And I think a lot
Mhm.
of listeners may never have heard about this Bharat Dream. So just imagine that you are talking to someone who knows absolutely nothing about this initiative, the overall goal behind this initiative. So could you please explain in a very simple term what this Bharat Dream is, and why should the people care about it? Like why it is so important for the IT community?
Yeah. So if I tell you what is Bharat Driven, so Bharat Driven is basically India's largest Salesforce community conference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what is Salesforce? Everyone knows, but what is community? Community is where the like-minded people come together,
Right.
right? And it is going to bring, when I say like-minded people, that means people who are, it can be helpful for someone who is looking for a job. It can be helpful for someone who is trying to understand what will be the best product for the business problem statement that we are trying to solve, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can be best for someone who wants to have a new set of people which can help them to learn something new, right?
Okay.
So when you say community conference, it's going to bring all those people from across the globe, across the country at one single place.
Okay.
Now, Bharat Dreaming is exactly solving that particular problem. Why I am so much confident, that might be a question that might coming into your mind, right? So I started my journey in Bharat Dreaming as a volunteer. I was a
Okay.
volunteer in the first edition, right? So from the ground reality, I have checked everything, right? A volunteer is someone who is voluntarily understanding how this particular platform is going to help them. So I have seen everything, and that's where I felt, this is the time that we have to do on a national level. So it's not like any other dreaming which is happening on a city level or a state level. It's going to happen on a national level. And whatever you are going to see, it's going to get the people from different places at one particular place. So
Place.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what about monitoring is.
And you mentioned about the Salesforce community. So is it specific for the Salesforce community, or like let's say if there is any a group of people who are working for completely different IT related stuff, and they also want to join, participate, or in order to contribute anything for this initiative. So what do you think? Like, is it specific to Salesforce, or anyone can contribute to this area?
So this is basically a Salesforce supported event. I mean, I would say like it doesn't mean that anyone from any other community cannot join it. Obviously, they can join it, but yeah, Salesforce will have the major, major
Priority.
role playing in that particular place.
Yes, or maybe something, if your work is something related to sales for it, or adding value to it, then maybe you can contribute. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
So
basically, sorry to interrupt. This is
yeah.
basically a 2 day event. Day
Mm-hmm.
one, we will cover it for students. Okay. So all the students who are learning or who are trying to understand what this IT world is. So for them, and day two will be for working professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like for open to for everyone who is, working in IT industry.
Okay. And I think the upcoming session is nearby, right? It's in July, I guess. 11th of
Yeah.
July.
It's happening on 11th of July in Rajasthan International Center, Jaipur.
Okay. All right. So it's a great opportunity for all those who are from Jaipur, or even from the nearby. They can also try to join this event and try to contribute as much as they can.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Aman, we'll take one more technical question, because there are plenty of things that we can discuss here on Salesforce and other things, but we are short on time. So I
Mhm.
just want to take one more question regarding one of your, I would say, other identity, your other identity, that is a self-described flunatic. So, as a self-described flunatic, what's the most complex flow architecture you have built that you have genuinely proud of? And like, what is your mentality like when you are dealing with such kind of flow writing process? So, what are your do's and don'ts that you believe?
So one of the complex thing that I built it using Flow was, I mean, there are multiple things that I built, but one I think was where I really solved the problem
Mm-hmm.
without writing a code and with getting all those things done is when I was working in Twilio, there was a requirement where there was multi currencies. So what happens in Salesforce is like every day that market rate fluctuates for the currencies, right? So
Correct.
there you have to go and do it manually. You have to change the rate manually. So our business or our it was a product based company, so our AEs, account executives, the requirement was, can we have this dynamically getting changed? Like we don't want to every day, we want to you I don't want someone to go ahead and change it dynamically, sorry, manually. Someone, it should happen dynamically whenever the rate will change. So I did it. What I did is I did integration using Flow. So there is a feature called HTTP callouts. So I did a callout where the opportunity amount was shown in four different currencies: AUD, USD, GBP, and INR. So
Okay.
it used to show the opportunity amount in those particular currencies, and once the AEs click on update, so it will update only that particular currency based on the currency in which AEs are doing business. So
Okay.
this is one of the requirement which I completed using Flow, and there was no code involved. The entire requirement was achieved using this particular Flow only. What I feel is whenever I work on any kind of requirement is I first try to understand from the user's perspective. We as a developer, what mistake we do is we always try to focus on, okay, this is the requirement, this is I have to do, and I have to get it done. That is the most important, or that is the most important mistake that as a developer we do. We
Mm-hmm.
should always think as a consultant or someone who is sitting opposite of the table, what problem they are facing.
Right.
So I try to understand their problem. Then I try to build a solution which will not solve the problem which they are facing, but at least that problem should be feasible in future as well. Like if something new comes up, that should not hamper the solution that I am built that are built today. And
Correct.
then I start doing it, and I show it, and I try to do it one step more, which can help them to solve that problem, or they have not thought of, but yeah, that can make their life easy. So that's how I solve the things.
Yeah, I think that is the best practice, because if you understand the other person's perspective also, then you can suggest better solution. In fact, if there are any alternatives also, you can suggest that too. So I think this is the best approach anyone can follow, especially those who are interested into the flunatic position, or if they love to do that kind of coding and logic building kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I think, Aman, it's time to know about the support network, because in everyone's life there is a support network, right? So looking back on your career, who were the key people around you who had a defining impact on your journey so far?
I think there are many in the list. It will be injustice to mention few, but I think the main pillars are my family members, especially
Of course.
my mummy and papa. My father, I think everyone's father is like that. Like they fight silently. They are the ones who fight all the battles silently. And my mother, who has played a very vital role in my upbringings.
Mm.
And if I have to tell you, like when I started delivering session, Developer Days, Salesforce Developer Days was the first big platform that I got. And I bought my mom. It happened in Jaipur only. And I bought my mom because I wanted her to witness like what she has done for me. And many people, hesitate to bring their parents. Like they feel like, okay, what my mom will say and what people will say. But I was literally taking my mom to all the people, and I was saying, like, this is she's my mom, and she is the one who has made me come on the stage and deliver it. So they owe a lot, and yeah, my mom and dad has been a big support. Next is my siblings, and then uh, a girl. She's no longer in this life, but yeah, and there are many people. So yeah, but yeah, credit goes to my mom and dad, and obviously the Almighty Lord.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Aman, I think before concluding the discussion, I think we should take one question regarding the place you belong from. Even I belong from. So what do you think? Like, what's the one best thing about Bharat that you feel proud to share with the global audience?
So what I feel about Bharat is like it's Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That's mean the entire world is just like a family,
Yeah.
right? So you will feel inclusivity. I never felt like, see, in my life I got multiple time I got opportunity to go into another country and work, but I never felt that because in my own country in Bharat, I felt that I'll get all the opportunities, and you can see right from last
Definitely.
couple of years, Bharat is growing like anything.
Right.
And first is inclusivity, second is unity and diversity. Like there are 28 plus speaking languages, but yet we are not divided. We are there as one.
Correct.
So this all things is something that I feel that yes, there is सारी जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा.
Definitely. So yeah, thank you so much, Aman, for sharing so much technical information on Salesforce and some of the information regarding the great initiative that you are leading from front, that is Bharat Dreamin, and also to talk about your personal journey. It was really a pleasure talking to you here, and I hope like those who are watching this episode, they can easily relate it with their journey too, especially those who are working in the Salesforce industry. So thank you once again for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much, Tech Sharmit. Thank you not only just for I'm just for saying I'm saying it because there are people like you who help us, to spread the word about my journey, about my career. So thank you so much for building up this platform, and I wish you all the best that you keep succeeding with this platform.
Thank you so much.